What up, though, fam? It's your boy Eka here, and welcome to this episode of the Murmc Sound Podcast. Now, before we get into this, I just want to quickly announce that we got our own Spotify playlist, Murmc Music official Spotify playlist. Check it out. Link in the description below. We got all of our releases and recent stuff, such as Springwood Slasher from Jaisto and myself, Drum My Bass by Mr. XO, Party Starter by Gavin Quinn, and more. And some tunes from our friends that are featured on there. So definitely go check that out. Again, link is in the description below. Definitely check that out. So today we have a really special episode. We're featuring the man himself, Dr. WitchDoctor. You've heard his track. If you're in the Discord server, you have heard him, chat with him, watched him make this crazy, amazing music. So we got a chance to sit down and talk with them. And we also got the special opportunity to sit down with his partner, another of the three members of a new group called SubJunkies. So we got to talk about SubJunkies and what they're about and what kind of music they were bringing and what style that they got. We also got to talk about Dr. WitchDoctor and his friend CutOff that we brought in, who is another member of the second member of the SubJunkies. So it's Dr. WitchDoctor and CutOff music here for this episode. So without further ado, fam, let's go ahead and enjoy the episode. Thank you so much.
Another day, just make sure, smoke two of these, call me in the morning, don't text your ex, doctor's orders.
Text your ex.
You heard it first, don't text your ex, doctor's orders. He'll give you a note for that, too.
I have the PDF.
He's got the PDF on standby.
Put it in the do-a-tangs.
He is ready to go with this.
Already sent.
So, right since we're gonna go ahead and get things started here, I can't talk today. While we go ahead and get things started here, first off, like to say congratulations, WitchDoctor, on the recent release on Murmc. Happy to have you part of the team and the family.
So dope.
It is an absolute pleasure and honor, to be honest. Even if it is dubstep.
I wasn't. First off, I don't think any of us were expecting any dubstep coming from you. But when I heard it, I'm just like, oh yeah, we need to put this on ASAP.
Oh man, I don't know why. I don't know why I always end up signing the one genre I don't like. Can't get drum and bass signed for shit.
I was about to say, I'm used to you making drum and bass mainly.
Yeah, this guy, everybody, for those who don't know, Dr. WitchDoctor, he is a regular active member here in the Murmc server, and this guy's drum and bass is just insane. First off, again, and I know you cringe every time I say this.
God damn it.
Your drums, every single track you make, dude. Just something about it. Your drums just
probably the FL11.
It's probably FL11. It's something that you do.
I feel like FL is interesting because it's more focused. I feel like it's more focused on audio cutting and stuff like that than MIDI. So I feel like sounds come different out of FL than they do Ableton.
It really it depends. I mean, FL11 has different variances and availabilities than FL20. Like, you can't go into a percussion instrument like a hi-hat or snare, right click on 20, there's no randomize. You can't just randomly input a sequence, but in FL11 you can.
It's strange they would pull that out. That's a really big inspiration tool.
That is.
I really think it was because you can basically do the same thing in FPC by loading in whatever drum sounds you wanted to an empty FPC, stretching all the notes out like a chord almost, and just activating an arpeggiator.
I see. Yeah.
That's how you do it in Ableton. Like, if you want to build fluttery style leads and stuff like that, you can do that with Ableton, just with the arpeggiator and the scaler.
Yep.
That's interesting that they would pull that randomization out.
Right, because it's really simple, really intuitive, really easy. It was fucking amazing. It still is. Which
probably algorithmically randomized too, so it's not like it's using a lot of power.
And it also randomizes pan, pitch, modulation, X and Y, whatever you have those ran to. It can MIDI outs. Like it's
Are
really
you in FL
powerful.
too,
and I
Philip? CutOff, are you FL Studio as well?
Yeah, I'm using FL Studio 20 though. I usually rely on stuff like granulizing to get my randomization done.
I see.
3D granulizer's a necessity for me though. I feel that I have to play with that thing at least once every stream.
Stuff like raw
It's
speed
just
and portal. They are just a
yeah,
must-have
Portal's
if you wanna get those glitch effects.
I was just gonna
Portal's
bring
grown
up
on me.
Portal.
I didn't like it at first. I hated it. Couldn't understand it. Couldn't use it. Couldn't do anything with it. Now I've started understanding how to use it when. Now I'm starting to lean a little bit away from Valhalla.
Yeah,
Supermassive. Excuse me.
I feel that. So, I wanted to ask you real quick, since we got you on this episode, got you on an episode finally after months and months. What initially got you into drum and bass, WitchDoctor?
Honestly, so I heard a song one time, and it was basically I think it was my dad that originally got me into it, but it was one of the first CDs I remember hearing was Prodigy. That a Prodigy CD my dad had, and it was like it had a bunch of Prodigy on it, like a burnt CD. Prodigy, Chemical Brothers, fucking Dillinger, and like I've never fucking heard my dad listen to shit like this. Like this man works like pipe yard, like machining, CNC machining and shit like that in the middle of East Texas. You don't go against the norm and shit like that. Like that draws attention to you. You can't do that in a small town.
Understandable.
Sure, you might be able to understand being like clicks work the same way over there in big cities. I assume.
Mm-hmm.
One thing happens in a click, everybody knows. One person knows, everybody knows.
I mean, even the town that I
Same
live
way
in
in a
is
small town.
yeah, the town that I live in is kind of small in itself too. So no, I totally get it.
But to find my dad listening to this stuff, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I thought he got it from his brother or some shit like that. Ended up asking him about it, and he ended up hooking me up with all these CDs that I've never heard before, and it opened my fucking mind, dude. But it was always Prodigy that I would go back to, or Dillinger, or Chemical Brothers, or I think it was also Ace of Base was another one. Days Go By. Days Go By was one of the ones that really stuck in my head, and I was like, there is another sonic world out there that is could be explored, because I loved instrument. I love metal. Was my shit. Which is I think why I like Daryl. Yeah. So Children of Bodom.
Yes.
Some of my favorite stuff: Static X, Lamb of God, fucking
God, I love Static X.
Mastodon. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they're called the Locust. They are not for everybody. I warn you now. Before you go look at shit up.
No, I fucked with the Locust. Yeah, that's some next level shit right there.
Yeah, to anybody watching, if you go and you look up the Locust, turn your fucking volume down.
Volume down and listen at your own risk.
Yeah,
because like WitchDoctor said, it is not for everybody. It is.
Is it like speedcore metal?
Yeah, but like not really emphasis on speed and more so the core. It's just super just heavy.
Imagine a cannon exploding backwards.
Yes.
That's the best way I could extrapolate.
Cannon operator needs to lose his job at that point.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but it's definitely something I always say. Just go listen at your own risk. Make sure your headphones or your speakers are down, because this shit is loud, and you may need to go to church afterwards.
Take a long shower and contemplate
experimental distorted cult music.
I'm
all in. I am all in for that. We
come up with a subgenre for this shit.
We totally could.
Oh my god.
Throw a couple of like electronic lines in there and you're good. Be the next
200 BPM.
Absolutely. Well, that's awesome though. That's awesome to have that like I guess that pool of memories of like your formative days of first discovering this.
Yeah, my parents were playing Jimmy Buffett and Jack Johnson. You should feel pretty lucky.
To be fair, my dad was also the one that taught me the "Never Smoking with Willie Again" song. Cause I'll never smoke weed with Willie
Oh
again.
my God, that's
party's
yeah.
all over before it begins. I love that fucking song. I learned to sing and play
Yo,
that shit
Mia,
at Bobby.
Brony, Dev, what's good, y'all? Welcome to the episode. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Here's where we decide the fate of the universe.
We fucked.
We James Cameron this bitch.
Hard, James Cameron.
Who's James Cameron?
Somebody out there.
James Cameron, isn't he the guy who did Avatar? And
Yeah, he is.
he did no, because that was J.J. Abrams that did Transformers, right?
Yes. No, that was Jerry Bruckheimer.
Jerry Bruckheimer. Okay, so I think the whole source of this joke really is that joke from South Park where it's like James Cameron is going into the Marianas Trench and they keep saying that he's lowering the bar.
Yep, lowering the bar,
wow.
lowering the standards of good film.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
So we out here doing that for electronic music. You're welcome.
Yep. We're providing a service for everybody.
Yeah,
Yep. What's good, Brony? My friending. I see you in here.
Friending. So before we hopped on the podcast, you guys were kind of talking about like how you met, where you found each other. So if you want to just talk about that a little bit, and then maybe like talk about how you guys work together. So your combination project is SubJunkies, right? That's the name of it.
Correct.
Actually, we are trying to build a label upon that later. Maybe, if it all works out right.
And there's 3 of you guys, correct?
Yeah, there's 3 of us. Laserstorm, he's not there right now, but we actually met through one of Laserstorm's Twitch streams because WitchDoctor joined and wanted some feedback on a track, and that's where it all started off. And that's actually the track we I can't speak either. Collaborated on. So yeah.
Yeah, kind of the first collaboration. Yeah, Rock Bottom 2, the first collaboration actually started because you guys were like, "What the fuck is that bass?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, but here."
So how does the writing process?
He got
work
a hold of it.
So how's the writing process work for the 3 of you guys? So who is there? Someone that's like in charge of like sound design, someone in charge of arrangement, and someone in charge of the mix down and mastering, or is it kind of evenly split up between everybody in their own way?
It depends, to be honest. A lot of sound design. Yeah, it's a clusterfuck. Yeah, a lot of sound design actually came from Laserstorm. He taught me a lot about sound design. I actually knew him for like 7-8 years now.
Oh,
so we always been collaborating and working together a bit. And then WitchDoctor came, and suddenly we found this way to collaborate with each other, and the synergy is perfect, I guess. So I mostly do some mastering and mixing stuff, replace some sub basses, and sometimes do a lot more. Like, depends on who came up with the idea for the track. Like, but
a lot of the times it could be what he did earlier is like he sent me the stems to basically a fully done song, and I might add a couple of things like a percussive element here, atmospheric element here, or even possibly even I guess a lot of the times I'm doing vocals, which is weird.
Yeah. Also,
I refuse to listen to him working on my vocals.
You refuse to listen to him working on your vocals. No, I feel that. I feel that. But that's
scary.
That's awesome though that you guys found a way to balance like the 3 of you guys working. Because if I remember correctly, CutOff, you're in Germany and Laserstorm's in the Netherlands.
Yeah, right.
So
He
that's awesome.
actually he's actually living in the same town Noisia came from, the OG hometown of Neurofunk.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
Okay.
it's kind of a legendary place to come from.
Yeah, it
Goddamn
is.
right it is.
Back.
I'm so jealous
I
that he
read
went
that
to all
shit. I'm
those
not even
Noisia
from there.
invites.
Say that one more
Like
time.
he always sent me those videos from Noisia invites.
Oh, dude, that's
from
so
them.
awesome.
I was so jealous that I couldn't get there.
I would be jealous too.
I'm fucking pissed. I'm stuck in fucking Texas, the country of Texas.
The
The
country
all-out
of
killer of
Texas.
fun.
But yeah, for the workflow,
We
it
love
really
you.
depends on who starts the project, who has the main idea, and then we'll work it out and bounce the stamps back and forth with each other and look what comes out.
The power of the
Like,
internet, man. Let me tell you.
yeah.
For real. I was
A
literally
lot of
just
it's
gonna say
Discord
something
too,
like that.
because we'll just be fucking around with stuff, and like I'll be fucking with Loop Cloud, and I might put 2 or 3 things together, and he's like, "Ooh, let me have that," and I'm like, "Okay," and I'll eat it out to him, or I'll be listening to something over there, and I'll be like, "Okay, what key are you in? What BPM?" And it's either 172 or 174. There's no other difference, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Duh.
Mm-hmm.
But no, and then I'll run it out to him and be like, "Well, what about this? What do you think about this?" Or it could just be the fact that it could be damn near a fully done song, and he masters it out and replaces a sub bass,
Oh yeah. I always
which
gotta
is
replace
funny
the
because
subject, right?
At least
Yeah,
the drums don't need much work, right?
Yeah.
No, that's super
we're friends,
awesome
Echo.
though.
Let's stay that way. I hate these drums, man. It's the one thing I can't stand doing, but man, it's so encompassing.
Yours are
At the
so
same
clean
time, your
though.
drums are so good.
Yeah, like I strive to get my drums to pop through as crisp and clean as yours do.
The
Shout
atmospheric
out to
stuff
WA
on your
Productions.
and the atmospheric stuff on your productions is always really interesting. Like your use of stereo space is something that I've noticed a lot, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, that's usually Valhalla, I think. Like
Yeah,
their reverb plugins are really good for that.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Valhalla Supermassive is what I end up using a lot. But a lot of the times, instead of putting it on the sound, I will always send any of my atmospheric elements to a reverb bus or a Valhalla
Yeah.
bus, and then
In general,
EQ out the low frequencies out of that. Because if you don't EQ your fucking reverb, it's gonna
yeah.
fuck your stereo image all up.
Oh yeah.
Especially in the mids and lows, it will do
Hell
bad stuff.
yeah.
Sorry.
Because that's, I mean, fuck, that reverb is all encompassing almost. I mean, it's supposed to be, but you don't need it that much. It's like it's like a good girl. Nope, never mind.
Me in the
Well,
chat over
you
here said
mentioned
I slid my
something,
water bottle across my desk and it sounded like drum and bass. Sounded like a bass that went burr.
Good shit. You see, it's the natural order of the world.
Yep, it indeed it is. So, CutOff, how's the drum and bass scene out there in Germany for you guys?
It's a bit strange. Like on the one hand, Germany got flooded with techno, as you might have heard.
Yes.
But on the other hand, the drum and bass scene was always like fighting through all of it and surviving everything in Germany, Netherlands, and surrounding countries. So there's still a lot of drum and bass raves even after the pandemic. So I
That's good.
think it's a heads up for drum and bass here.
That's good. I know for a fact it's huge out in the UK. Gavin and I have some friends that are out in the UK that are producers that they mainly produce like bassline and house, but they always talk about how huge DMB is out there.
Yeah,
Cheers,
Bristol is like
WitchDoctor. I'm right here with you.
capital of roller drum and bass, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm slowly converting a new friend of mine, Kazakh. He's
Yeah.
he loves Goa Psytrance, and he doesn't know it's Goa Psytrance. He has no idea what genre he likes. But I'm just like, I know what you like, dude. I've been DJing long enough to know I can read a crowd. I'm like, you like Goa Psytrance? He's like, well, I like Vita Vici. I'm like, I know.
I mean, who doesn't?
Fair point.
Right.
The 1800 micrograms does do some experimental shit that is next level in my opinion. Like Speed Freak, the song, take that one for example. Goes from regular 145 full on psytrance, and halfway through goes to 174 drum and bass, which is a really great transition point if you need to go from 4x4 to drum and bass. Nice little hack there.
No, yeah, absolutely. But it's also tracks like that that make some of us DJs cringe.
Yeah.
Man,
Yep.
I'll make one day.
I have yet to have a psytrance bass, but I did have a heavy like Blur Baby, Armin van Buuren trance phase, and like I'm still super into like hard, aggressive, progressive trance, like European trance, as opposed to like the real psychedelic stuff. So I'm getting to see Armin van Buuren for the first time at EZU this year, and I'm super excited because I've seen Paul Van Dyke a couple of times, and he throws down. I can't even imagine what Armin van Buuren does.
He's really nice at live events. I loved his mixes on stage every time I saw him.
That's awesome.
I think at the Airbeat once, and yeah, maybe I just saw him once. But that set was insane.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. That's gonna be awesome.
Never been a trance guy. Like a psytrance, I can dig. I can get all up into high tech and I can be fine. But you start playing some motherfucking Ajuna deep shit, we gonna have problems.
The minute we start getting soft and melodic, that's when we have issues.
Oh, I never said it was soft. I just said it was melodic.
Yeah, but you said hard aggressive. That's why I figured.
For me, it's just the stuff like hardstyle and hardcore that I can't stand longer than 2 or 3 tracks.
Yeah, that like wonky, like real hard like Euro sound. I like happy hardcore. That's like
I love
like
I like
happy
that.
hardcore.
Like, don't get me wrong, when I was younger, I listened to that stuff a lot, but nowadays I don't really like it as much anymore.
Yo, Jess Gerke, welcome into the chat, welcome into the podcast. We do actually do feedback demo submission streams. We save those towards the end of the month. We actually had ours earlier this month, so we will be having ours the next one next month. But if you haven't already, just join our Discord server and start dropping in some demos, and we will listen to those as fast as humanly possible, fam. Appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah,
nice little hack. If you go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was interesting that CutOff talked about the invasion of techno, because when I think of Germany, like I think of techno. Like, don't they have the oldest? Is the oldest techno club in the world in Germany?
Yeah. Maybe you think of Berghain in Berlin?
Yep.
Yeah. It's like techno was always like in the underground scene, just like drum and bass was, but nowadays it got a real hype wave and got popular to the point where some techno stuff even is played in the charts and stuff like that.
Oh wow,
that's pretty awesome. Have you been to any of those clubs yourself, CutOff?
A few, but I mostly go to Goas and drum and bass raves.
Ah, right on. I kind of figured. I just figured since we brought up the techno aspect, I figured I ask.
I've never been to the Berghain, actually.
Well, even if you did, you couldn't tell us what was inside. That's like part of the rules.
That is true.
It's a bit weird. Like they have they don't have a password. They have like a dress code, and the dress code changes every week or something, and you have to dress up in the right clothes, or else you won't get in. But
that's
the
old school right there.
Pretty known, so it's easy to find. You can always go there though.
That's pretty awesome though. How it's like exclusive but not exclusive.
Yeah,
it's like the old raves back in the 90s. Whenever I first saw them.
Yeah.
Used to get what I had to do was put 4 flyers together. You had to get 4 different flyers, and it had a map on it, and you had to piece them together. Yep. If you've ever done that, dude, you know you've went to a real motherfucking underground warehouse rave, and that shit right there is a memory that I will hold with me for fucking ever. Like, I almost wish I would have saved them to get that tattoo on me.
I
Damn.
remember.
Yeah, and then 10,000 years from now, when they uncover your body, they're gonna think that tattoo is like a fucking treasure map or some shit. They're
It's
gonna
an
end up
ancient
stealing the
rune.
Declaration of Independence.
They're gonna find my mix. They're gonna go in there. They're gonna find the first SubJunkie mixtape.
Let's go.
In the middle of some random
Calculated.
field. It's like underneath like a massive like 2050 fucking condominium complex. They tear up the fucking basement.
Property of SubJunkies. Time
And
capsule.
they're gonna rediscover good music.
Exactly. Drum and bass will emerge from the time capsule yet again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think if
Drum-based
two
revived.
I think if two opposing sounds that were gonna go in a time capsule, I think trance and drum and bass would be two really good examples.
That's my fucking time capsule.
No, well, okay.
Not in my
Exactly.
fucking time capsule.
Not my time capsule.
Not mine, goddammit.
Sorry, my text has started showing. My bad.
It's all
time
good.
capsule, the aim and break. For actual time capsule, the aim and break would be really higher on that list, I think.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It definitely would be, for sure.
B-side of the Winston's Color Him Father, 5.2 seconds worth of music, the aim and break.
The basis for so much sound. Like
Yeah.
even like the downbeat sort of lounge music, half that stuff is drum and bass.
Salt and Pepper, NWA, straight out of Compton.
Yeah.
Aim and break, Salt and Pepper, aim and break.
Excuse me.
I love that. I love it. I always go back to that one reference, NWA. Everybody knows that track.
Everybody
Straight out of
does.
Compton. And if you go back and you listen to NWA and you put the aim and break right next to it, same fucking thing. It's beautiful. That's why I love drum and bass, because it can encompass jazz for liquid. It can encompass hip hop for either jump up or neurofunk. It can encompass reggae for raga drum and bass. You could even go experimental and then neurofunk and then whatever the fuck we're doing neurofunk.
I want to extrapolate on that, actually.
It's interesting
So
that
do we.
you bring up
Man,
funk,
so do
because
we.
I asked Tony Fresh if he was making funk or if he was making funk, and he was like, "Well, it's kind of both." So it's interesting to hear you talk about funk. Please extrapolate.
Oh yeah, so basically, I had the mad idea to incorporate funk elements into drum and bass neurofunk. So, by combining the typical like what is it, 909 cowbell
Mm-hmm.
that's tuned into
Roland
melody.
TR 808 cowbell.
Oh, it's 808. Yeah, it's 808 cowbell, right?
Roland TR 808 cowbell.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And using that for melodies and using really fat sub basses and old school hip hop vocals being sampled and pitched up a bit. I've tried to
And whatever the
fuse
fuck
those
he does to my
vocals together,
drums.
and it actually sounds kind of okay, I guess. Like at some point, if you make
Hashtag
3 or 4
neurofunk.
tracks, it gets a bit repetitive and redundant, but I think there's ways around that too. Like you can always play with different melodies and even melodic stuff, I guess.
I see. It's a really, really
Get other
awesome
people to
blend.
remix the songs too,
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
to get different ideas or points of views on the same genre, just to see where it could go.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, what you guys are doing is a really interesting blend of two completely different genres and completely different fields of music, and it just works so fucking well, dude.
Oh, I always love to try and blend different styles together. I think I don't know if you know it, but my recent EP I finished for P-Lab, another label, was a combination of Eastern sounds with drum and bass, like the typical Eastern flutes and stuff like that. And I've come across some really fun stuff there too, because they are not using the typical Western notes, but different frequencies and stuff like that on those instruments.
Right. That's awesome. I definitely need to check that EP out.
Yeah, it will
That's right.
come
We're
out
coming
soon.
for you, Caracal. We know what you're doing.
The mastering came back from the mastering engineer. I'm still waiting for the release date though.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that's always the grueling part of the process, is waiting for the actual release date.
Yeah.
Unless you forget about it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many have you forgotten? I need to know. Or have you forgotten the release date before?
For myself personally, I've forgotten 2 releases. Forgotten about 2 releases.
Same.
Yes.
And one of those was an EP.
Damn, I ain't that bad yet.
But yeah. I mean, it's always like that. You at some point you just stop working on a project and send it out, and then you forget about it completely and start moving on, right?
Yep. For me, the EP that I had trouble with, I was just having trouble getting the mix downs right. And then when I got them right, I got it distributed, and I just stopped thinking about it. And I go onto my Spotify artist page, and it's like, you have 7 days left to pitch this EP. I'm just like, right, I'm dropping an EP next week. Thank you.
Shit.
Damn.
Oh my god.
I think I was maybe like half a day late to uploading it to not Spotify, to my SoundCloud.
Yes.
Released everywhere perfectly, and then I'm like, all right, cool. Why is everybody sending me messages on the release? I didn't release anything today. And then I go into my email, it's like, your releases are live on Apple Music, on Spotify. I'm just like, oh, right.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That is beautiful.
But granted, I was simultaneously I was also getting everything from Murmc started as well. So there's just a lot going on.
I like to think that, like, I think of myself as a smaller artist, because I'm not nowhere near as big as like AMC or Andy F or none of those guys. But
I mean,
I like to think that they have the same problems we do.
Oh, absolutely.
Because CutOff actually hooked me up with some of there was a file or a folder that he hooked me up with, and I always go back and listen to it for a little bit of inspiration or for morale boost. Because it doesn't matter how much experience you have in making music. Sometimes you just make trash.
That is true.
And even the professionals do it. So it makes me feel good. I go in there and I'm like, Jesus, what the fuck were you guys thinking? And I'm just like, man.
We all have those moments when we listen back to our old projects. We all have those moments.
Yeah. Just put every year. I put all the projects that I did the year before in a folder. They're usually already tagged with the year, and then I pretty much just don't open them after a whole year unless they're like in rotation of being worked on. Which I just feel like you put in all that time on like stuff that like somebody said this to me. They're like, you can't polish a turd, but you'll never know if the turd is turd unless you see it through. You know what I mean? So like you really got to get to like I feel like you got to get to a certain point with music where you just wash your hands of it and be like, look, this isn't working out. It's not the best for me right now. I'm going to move on to the next thing.
Oh yeah. I had that with so many projects. Like to put it in perspective, that PLAB EP got 4 tracks signed.
Yep.
And I initially sent in 20 tracks. So they all got declined until those 4 finally got signed. And from then take a step back, from all those 20 tracks, this is just 10% of what of all the tracks that I've done and thought about sending in. Like you have to like sort out what the turds really are in that sense.
Oh, 100%.
Screw that noise. I just make shitloads of fucking music loaded up to an NCS list. I'm like, here, Twitch.
Yeah,
fucking
don't get me started on the amount of shit you produce, man, because some of the stuff you've been making lately. Besides the fact
I
that
know, it needs
they're all
work.
bootlegs, but good God.
Yo, the art of the bootleg is where this all started, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
like,
bootlegs.
Now, when
Talking
we
about
listen...
that swamp bootleg, I don't
Or-
blame you.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was just about to get to. That fuck the law bootleg you did. So I sent it to Swamp Man. Yo, what's good, intro? Welcome in, buddy.
Intro.
Dorito gang, what's good? So yeah, I sent that bootleg to Swamp Man, and he goes, "Yo, was this the cat you're trying to send those stems to?" I'm like, "Yes." He goes, "Oh, did you do it already?" I'm like, "Yes." I got him stemmed out. I just got to send it to him. And he goes, "Yeah, send that to him ASAP because I want to hear an actual remix of this shit. This is fire."
hell yeah.
Dude, I was just trying to be a troll. It was like I heard ID showcase for the label. I was like, man, if nobody takes the fucking like label, one of the main head label dude's track and fucking doesn't bootleg it, I'm doing that shit. I think I was one of the first people. I think the second person to fucking submit my shit. But everybody, I had asked a lot of people's opinion on that shit too before I sent it in because I was like, man, I feel like it's too simple. I feel like it's not really good enough. Or at that point, I was like, fuck it, it's a bootleg. It's literally just for me to like have fun, and hopefully, if I like it enough, other people like it enough.
I fucked with it. It was good. Like, it blew my mind.
Casual mind blowing.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, to
Shout
be
out my
also
Howard.
fair, I was gonna toss you some stems to remix anyways. It just worked out that you did this before I decided what song to do it with. Oh yeah.
It took forever to EQ that goddamn atmosphere out of it because I literally just took the beginning part of the track where it has like your atmospheric stuffs in there, and I just like chopped it up into like little eighth and quarter note parts and put a fucking quarter note like loop delay on it, and that's what the entire atmosphere is. Like all the swirly shit is literally just a small part of your song, just Valhalla reverbed out.
The power of FL Studio. Able to
Right.
slice any bit of audio up with ease. You try to do that in Ableton? Good luck.
That is not true.
Hey, the warping properties and parameters are a lot easier on FL Studio versus Ableton, in my opinion.
Yeah, using sound files definitely, especially with FL20 being able to consolidate MIDI to audio instantly, basically. Just highlight whatever the fuck you want, turns it into a sound file, and then you can start doing your crazy FL shit. Where it's like, I think you saw me do it one day where I just like cut some shit up, reverse one thing, moved another thing, and then all of a sudden it's just this crazy neural warp bass.
But I mean,
don't know what
it's always fun just to watch you work though, because the stuff that you write out sometimes, Jesus. But I mean, granted, you've been doing this shit for a lot longer than I have, for damn sure.
Same.
It's a mixture of live audio, like live mastering or mixing, or basically bringing out room, being a sound engineer for country bands and rock bands and metal bands. Metal bands who distort their fucking guitars way too fucking much. My goodness.
Oh, you would have
They
hated
always
me.
turn their shit up. Oh my god.
You would have hated me back in the day.
Not at all. You pop that Sonic Maximizer, I'm not turning it back on. That's your fault. You get to deal with the rest of that show sounding like shit. That's your fault. I'm a good fucking engineer. I've dealt with that too many times. It's like, hey, look, you pick up that light, I swear to God, all your patchouli goes away. Magically. You'll lose your scarf and everything. It's going to be a bad day.
Triggered some Vietnam flashbacks from WitchDoctor. He got so offended so quickly.
If you're a good sound engineer, I believe like any good sound engineer gets fucking offended quickly. I'm pretty sure I felt like a militia rise up almost.
No, I can attest to that because I ran sound for my old band that I was a part of until recently. No, yeah, running sound for those guys was a challenge. because I had
feel your
4
pain,
grown
brother.
men try to talk
see
over
it.
each other like they're fucking children.
Oh, damn.
It's always frustrating.
Oh, dude, it's great. And then what's funny is when we play shows at venues and gigs that have a sound engineer running everything, so they're yelling at the sound engineer all at the same time. And then you just see my fried ass just walk up. All right, this is what the vocalist needs. Got it? Cool. This is what the guitar vocals needs. Got it? Cool. Running guitar directly in, running keyboard directly in, and running bass directly in. Drums will be loud enough that way it travels through everything else.
Still mics it out.
Well,
Yeah.
normally they mic up the snare and the kick.
Yeah, two drop mics, I assume. Well, one drop mic and one.
If they had extras.
Yeah.
Most of the places we played at only had 2 or 3 microphones, and I would also need a microphone sometimes.
Damn.
Oh yeah, running sound for these guys was great. So I feel your pain.
Fuck
Not the full
that
extent,
shit, bro.
but some of it.
Fuck that shit. At least it was probably good music. I was doing country music.
Oh
Not
no,
good
it was
country
punk and heavy metal. Well,
Yeah.
this time around with this band it was reggae, but still, it wasn't worth it.
Funny thing, the band that I mainly did sound for, and actually, funny enough, programmed drums for. I did melodies and drums.
Wow.
It was a techno metal band. We were mixing like a Skylit Drive Chiodos type music with
Oh my
Anger Fist.
God.
It's
A
on
Skylit-
Did not
YouTube,
expect you to say
SoundCloud.
Anger Fist.
Yes, Anger Fist, K9, fucking, what was his name? Predator.
He said a Skylit
So we mixed-
Drive. I just got hit with a massive wave of flashbacks. Oh my God.
The Locust, another big inspiration for Assemble the Dinosaurs. But we also did skits between each song. So one was Dracula at the Dentist.
Wait,
Another one was $5
what?
foot long.
Dracula at the Dentist was the name of one of your skits.
Yes.
And hold on,
essentially,
for that matter, y'all did skits in between songs.
yes, to essentially, because what our entire marketing scheme is on our album it said "Do not buy this,"
Okay.
and it's stamped on there propaganda. And essentially, the first thing you hear when starting up our CD is "You're stupid as fuck." This is propaganda. We are literally here to brainwash you and to make you love this music. Why did you do this to yourself? And then it goes into Beauty and the Electric Tentacle, which
Beauty and
the
the
entire CD is a story of the assembled dinosaurs, which the dinosaurs are just a bunch of misfit superheroes who are just way too drunk all the fucking time, way too fucked up, probably rolling or something else. And they go out and they fight big extra dimensional creatures, essentially, which the electric tentacle. We save Beauty from the electric tentacle. There's Omnicron, the galactic prince of monsters. There's a couple of others that, and it's essentially, think of like One Punch Man, but drunk as fuck.
Oh dear Lord.
Like soaked in vodka. And yeah, so Dracula at the Dentist was actually when Twilight was just first coming out, and well,
oh dear
you
Lord.
can imagine how much it must suck for Edward to get his poor little fangs ripped out at the dentist.
Oof.
Yeah. Then we did the $5 footlong song. That was fun. $5. Oh my god, dude, it's crazy because the screamers that we had were fucking impeccable.
So you
Guitar
guys were
players,
basically like
impeccable.
joke core, damn near.
Yeah, and we were booked for Warped Tour, but one of our guitarists ended up going to college instead.
Wait, what year? Because I played a couple Warped Tours myself.
I would say it would have to be back. It would be 10 years from now, or 10 years ago now. So what year is it right now?
Yeah, so 2020, 2022. So yeah, 2012.
Yeah, around 2012, 2011, maybe 2010. Because it would be 20. It would be 11 to 12 because I graduated 09. Would have graduated 09.
I played 2010, 2011, 2012.
Yep.
2012, I worked the event because at the time I was also working for Vance and got offered the job. But that's crazy though. That's hella crazy.
Man,
So
we ended
we're
up
not
being
glossing over this subject of joke core. I just want to go back to that at some point because
I'll send you the link.
all I can imagine is just like Weird Al Yankovic with his fucking accordion screaming into a microphone.
I mean, that's a pretty good way to explain it. So take like
in a banana hammock.
Yeah, in a banana
in
hammock.
a banana hammock. Yeah,
So-
I'll give you that.
So take like, all right, take the style of hardcore and screamo that is like Asking Alexandria, like from like Stand Up and Scream, and then fuse that with like the humor of Weird Al Yankovic or even the humor of Sacha Baron Cohen.
Okay.
But
And-
British and dry.
Yes. And that's pretty much joke core. So like I was in a joke core band a long time ago as well, and we had a really popular song that was called, all of our song names had the little like X's on the beginning and at the end of each title. So it was like X song title X. So
Okay.
this our popular song that we always played out was called Burrito. Had nothing to do with burritos. It was literally just me growling in the most guttural voice I can, but growling the Captain Planet theme song on a breakdown.
That's hilarious.
It just made no sense.
So, since we did gloss over, kind of, I 100% forgot this. So another one of my jobs in the band, because I just found the live video on YouTube of one of our performances. You've been to plenty of raves, and anybody who listens to EDM, you know what glow stringing is.
Yes.
I'm sure everybody knows what poi is,
Yeah.
but glow stringing is a completely different art, but still the same as poi.
It's older than poi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's almost as old as conjuring and
Yeah.
freehand glow sticking and liquid dancing, liquid pop Eric. Oh my god, that man got me into liquid, and I was so glad he did. But I spun glow sticks during the performances as well
Hell yeah.
to kind of add a little bit of light show. And one of my jobs was to be a hype man. Essentially, I'm the guy that kicks over your fucking beer, tells you what the fuck you gonna do about it, starts a mosh pit, and then just jumps out of the mosh pit and goes back to dancing.
Yes.
So, and I shit you not, dude, I took my fucking job seriously. There was at one point down at Nacogdoches, we played for the entire college.
Oh, this is awesome.
Huge fucking show. One of the first ones we ever played, and it was packed.
Oh, hell
I
yes.
got knocked the fuck out. And I'm talking, this dude elbowed the shit out of me, and I am just literally more than half of my face, probably 80% of my face is just covered in blood. And immediately after the show, we start drinking and go to the Taco Bell. And I remember this distinctly because the ladies, I specifically said, I need a 5-layer burrito with no sour cream. She said, do you need an ambulance? I said, no, lady, I need a 5-layer burrito with no sour cream, please. If I needed a hospital, I'd be there already. I was hungry, man. We were starving artists for real.
We
That's
were
hilarious.
starving artists for real. When the food becomes a priority, just don't worry about what else is going on. Just give me my goddamn food. I feel that though.
I understand I've lost a quarter of my blood, but I want that fucking burrito. It better not be no fucking sour cream on that shit.
That burrito is what's going to help me be on the verge from leaving the verge of life and death.
And to be honest, I got my burrito. I sat down. I quietly ate it, and I left. If they would have just gave me my fucking burrito in the first place instead of asking dumbass questions,
I can
it
just
would've
see.
kind of peaceful.
What's funny is I can see the altercation happening, and then I could easily see you just grabbing your burrito from the fucking people when they call your order out, sitting down, calmly eating that shit, and then just walk out.
It's an absolute vision of horror, just like drenched in your own blood.
Yep.
Thinking back, it had to really be a terrifying sight for anybody else in there. Now I kind of feel bad, but man,
That's funny though. Like, I'm glad I'm glad you obviously you're recovered. Glad to hear you're recovered, but that's just funny as fuck. Walk in there all
yeah.
haggard,
Even though I got hit in
blood
the face
covered.
by the hate group,
That's
and all of my
do you have
bandmates to this day still remember that shit too.
that's hilarious.
They remember the exact phrasing of words. I need a 5-layer burrito with no sour cream. Do you need an ambulance? No, lady, I need a 5-layer burrito with no sour cream. If I needed a hospital, I'd be there already. Fuck.
That's fucking great. Hectic,
Oh.
but fucking great.
Don't know why that stuck with me so much, but it's like, god damn, just give me my fucking burrito.
Those of you out there that make burritos, don't keep this man from a burrito. God damn it.
I'm 125 pounds of soaking wet furious kitten.
Soaking
shit up.
don't let his looks fool you. He'll lead Molotovs like it's nothing.
I want to ask
Allegedly.
Mr. Cut Up here. What are the raves like in Germany, and like, have you seen any crazy stuff that maybe our US people might not have seen?
What are the waves like? Depends on the wave, actually. But mostly
you.
they are really I really love the people around there. Like it's always so friendly and so like unbiased. It's beautiful. Like once a friend of mine went down in a mosh pit and lost his glasses. And immediately, like 5 to 10 people started helping him and finding his glasses back and stuff like that. So
That's
even
awesome.
though
Good
mosh
shit.
pits can get quite heavy and dangerous around here, everyone is always helpful and polite. That's what I love about the raves around here, actually.
That's super awesome.
Yeah, and you won't ever get judged for anything. It's just a bunch of people dancing to music and having fun there. So
See, that's one thing that I love to hear about raves from from across the pond out in Europe, and hearing just that's huge but yet somehow small difference of just the aesthetic of people out there. Because out
Yeah.
here we deal with people judging people all the fucking time.
Club without people judging you, and like all the big DJs play the big clubs. It's like kind of lame, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
but that's different on the typical raves here around Europe because the raves were actually the place where the outcast and the people that were getting judged met to rave to music without getting judged. So the usual people that go to those raves are the misfits and outcasts of the society, I guess.
That's super fucking cool, man. And what's funny is I hate throwing this word around, but like, and this is like the only word that I could think of that fits it best, and that's like hearing that right there. That's honestly the most quote unquote plur thing I've heard from.
said it.
Yep, I said it. But that's like,
He said it.
but it's still super awesome to hear that that's how it is out there. Because out here, it's just been so, like, we still have that aesthetic and that spirit alive in certain places out here in the States, but mostly out here, it's just super commercialized. And
Spirit has
Yeah,
been
yeah,
lost.
that really depends on the type of rave, as I said. Like, if you go to Tomorrowland, you will find a lot of those commercialized stuff and
right,
people judging and stuff like that too. But still, the people will still be polite and stuff like that. And then if you go to a Goa and a D&B rave or even a techno rave, it completely changes. Everything changes.
right.
Nobody cares how you look. Nobody cares how you dance or what you do.
Everyone's just there for the music.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Like I said, we have places like that out here too, where it's more so the vibe just being there for the music. But as is everything out here in the States, for the most part, it's been heavily commercialized.
Yeah, it might be that.
Yeah,
I'll put a link in the chat.
Awesome to hear, because that's really like, if like, dance music is really one of the biggest exports America has ever had, and I think it's really cool that along with the music, it like the culture of that still survives, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I think the culture around rave society and Blur as a concept, um, it got softened and then it got eliminated. So it used to be like, you're Blur or you're not Blur, and we'll punch you in the face if you aren't. Like, but now it's like, it's become like, oh, I'm a Blur baby on Instagram, da 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 da. And like, even before that, like, the energy of like total acceptance started to fall to the wayside because of the like, I think they're really institutional, like, promotion companies, like these people who like Pasquale Rotella is a great example. Like, he started throwing real raves and now he throws the biggest commercial raves in the scene. So it's like, where did that pivot come from? Like, what changed? And I think it was an influx of money that happened in the 90s.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's got popular, a lot of money started flowing into it, and then a lot of different people started going to it too because of the popularity and the commercialization and ads and the money flow, basically.
Exactly. But I take it you prefer to go to the underground raves.
Yeah.
So I guess to follow up with along with what Gavin's follow-up question was, can you recall any of like the craziest craziest things you've seen at these underground raves?
Craziest things I've seen at those underground raves. I mean, if you call it underground, at the Rampage open air festival, after the main event was over, someone hijacked the electricity of one lantern to hook up his sound system, and then they played a whole set at the camping site there.
That's awesome.
Went on till like 10 in the morning.
Renegade.
No, that's real renegade status right there. That's awesome though. Siphon power to power up a little after set in the campground.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty smart if you really think about it.
He probably was an electrician, right?
Probably.
Fucking NASA works.
Found that lantern and was like, wait a second.
He probably installed it himself and like read up everything there is to know about it.
Yeah.
That's
But it was awesome.
No, that is pretty awesome.
Imagine if he
That's
was like
the next
thinking
level
about
of
this for a
wokeism.
week beforehand, and he like went there early and like put in a like voltage switch or something, so he could just like do it real quick.
Oh, you can't do that because the security was always walking around there. So he had to install it after everyone was going to sleep and stuff like that. So it had to be done really quickly because that rave got shut down while like at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Damn.
We had like 3 hours of rave until the staff came and asked, where the fuck did you get that power line?
That's hilarious.
That's still like the inventiveness.
Right.
I'm like blown
away.
Man,
to be the guy that had to filibuster, to just sit there and like try to stall that guy. Man, imagine. Well, here, let me just tell you about the process first before you start getting panicked. And then technical jargon for about 6 hours.
Right. Just
Lord.
Wow.
By the way, I put a link in there. Like, if you said something about what are American raves. That's one of the first American raves I did in a warehouse. That literally, like, if you've ever seen any of those old rave movies, Olin and fucking the one that's got Coop in it, my Be Right Back screen, like that movie right there. A dirty ass warehouse with ratty ass couches. Half of them came from a bus.
Mm-hmm.
There's a stage made out of wood. The sound system is fucked up, and I mean, like, speaker cones are good, but the grills are gone. Fucking.
Oh yeah, it was stuff that was probably either rented or purchased last minute off of Craigslist.
Yeah, possibly. But it's called the Crossroads, and like everybody from Riff Raff to fucking Static X, Lamb of God has played there, and it's just a fucking warehouse in the middle of like industrial Tyler, Texas. But there's also a bar in Tyler, Texas called. It used to be called. Fuck. I'm gonna have to look that up now. This has been so long since I've been there, but they just demolished it not too long ago. They just demolished the Green Elephant in Dallas.
Yeah, they did.
Man, if they ever demolish Wits End, I'm gonna fucking riot.
We'll start skanking and eating Molotovs.
Goddamn right we will. I'm already building up a stockpile, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But man,
So that's
haven't
another
been
thing
to
I
a
wanted to
warehouse.
touch up on. What have been the past few events that you've brought your style of D&B to, WitchDoctor?
I think I've only been able to actually perform one IRL show, which was for a company here in Texas called the Electric Rabbit.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's heard about them. Like they've done events in Texas in the same place that actually it was Auditory Overload Entertainment was who we were, and then we were Unity Entertainment. But we shared territory with them basically, where we did Friday and Saturday, they did Sunday, and we basically shared room, we shared resources, and worked together to have a competitive but workable, community. But I was able to do one hour set where I was able to play like basically rock bottom, and not sure if anybody understood what the fuck they were listening to, but they sure heard it.
I mean, hey, it got played out, right? That's what matters.
Yeah, I had fun. Fuck everything else.
That's what matters.
I'm one of those DJs where I'm up there for me.
Exactly.
I know I'm supposed to be up there making sure everybody has a good time at the party, but I guarantee you nobody else at that motherfucker's having more fun than me. Cause this shit may be working. Like fuck you. I've seen it. What happened with you? Like holy fuck, that works. And then I start scribbling notes and shit. Like I remember that shit. There's nothing more fun than having four tracks just all of a sudden work together in the same key, drop all at motherfucker at once. It's like you're just sitting over there fucking with bass knobs, like switching shit. Like,
Oh, dude, it's too fun. It's addicting.
It is. It is. You sit there and you're like, one more song, just one more song, and then 45 minutes later, 2 hours later, 3 hours later, shit, dude, I should have been recording this.
That is my problem right there. I need to start recording every session that I do.
Oh yeah. Just like in sound design sessions, you have to hit the record button before you start doing shit.
That's something I need to do as well.
The world's worst about not saving the graphics presets that I make in FL20, and Cut will fucking jump my ass every so often. It's like, bro, let me get that render you did. I'm like, I didn't render. Why? Fuck, don't have made me for it. Fuck.
We need to record everything so we can export the bits that we like.
That's a smart tactic. So I take it kind of the three of y'all kind of hold each other accountable for certain things that y'all need to work on.
I try to help out where I can, but we already figured out I'm not a coder. that's Laser's job. I can make pretty images and I can make pretty noises and nasty noises, and CutOff makes them better. So bang pots and pans.
Bang. Yeah. That's literally all we do.
They're just digital pots and pans.
Allegedly.
Keyword allegedly.
To be fair, I do have a full song where every percussive element and drum sound is made from or SS Carrera.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
Whether it be from the door shutting, the lock clicking, the window going up and down, the wiper, the clicking of the start thingy, the gear shift doing something, and I've done some kind of weird shit with it because somebody talked shit on my Twitch stream one time. I was like, yeah, I don't know about you being able to do this. I'm like, motherfucker, you challenging me? And I fucking did.
You challenging me, motherfucker?
So I will happily do this for you.
How often do you stream on your Twitch?
Every single night at 12 p.m. Texas time. Country's its own country, man. We got our own time zone. Fuck.
That is
Yeah,
true.
Texas has its own time zone.
For me,
Yeah.
it's just once a month, but I wanted to do it more frequently too.
Yeah, streaming is a lot of fun.
I'm really looking forward to you streaming more CutOff just for the amount of shit I'm gonna talk about the stuff you're doing.
He is now your resident troll.
To be fair, that's where we got our name. He started talking shit one day, and then I started talking shit, and all of a sudden, it's like a bunch of fucking SubJunkies around here. You always replacing my fucking sub base. I was like, wait a minute, hey, that's actually kind of cool.
SubJunkies.
And yeah, it kind of stuck, and I was like, son of a bitch. And then it's kind of been like the whole, like, it just kind of works out to where I start yelling shit, and we start naming things.
So that's how the name came to be. You just call them SubJunkies, and then you were just like, hold on now.
Yeah, I started making fun of him and yelling at him and shit because I was fucking all pissy. He said I replaced the sub bass, and I remember I replaced the snare. I'm like, you did what?
Don't touch my snare.
I'll blame Alexander Black on that one. He fucking talked shit about my snare one time on one of my productions, and I never fucking forget it because I damn sure don't. One guy that ever talked shit about my drums. I'm like, why?
What did he say? Do you remember?
He said something about the snare was weak or some shit like. It's like I do drum and bass.
I just told you to sidechain stuff to your snare. Like the snare wasn't weak, essentially. It was just the mix wasn't working around the snare properly.
Wait, did I send you the song I sent to Alexander? Shit. Yeah, I don't sidechain well. I just usually let Cut do that when he cuts out my sub bass.
I'm still figuring out sidechaining.
I use gross beat, and it annoys the piss out of CutOff. That's why I run shit to a Valhalla reverb, and then I'll cut the reverb all the way off. It just looks like I'm using it, just to annoy him.
I've been using the peak control for sidechain actually.
Yeah, I remember that method you were showing me the other day. I need you to shit out for me again.
I mean, it's fairly easy. You can even use like ghost signals for it too. Like just use a hi-hat with the right shape. Delink it from the master so you don't hear the hi-hat anymore, and just use that hi-hat signal as input for your peak control to let your volume of whatever sound you want to sidechain be ducked down every time that head hits. Then put the head on top of your snare and kick, and you're done with sidechaining.
He's gonna watch me do this wrong enough times to where he saves me an effect.
Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Kazik. Much love.
Oh shit! Hey, there he is. Hey, Kazik, that's actually one of the guys that I've been I collaborated with. He's so generously donated his voice and vocals and stuff in order for me to make weird, fucked up Goa shit.
Nice.
Which actually, it's now one of his redemptions on his stream. So if you guys end up doing a certain action on his stream, I'm not saying it's donating at least $20, but you probably should because he's a fucking dope son of a bitch, man. I'm telling you, that man has helped more people than I have this year.
That's
for
awesome.
No reason.
That's awesome. Welcome in, Kazik. Welcome in.
Half open up the server. I'm just saying, but that's just me. I like picking on people regardless. Vocals, yeah, I say vocals. It's literally just me yeeting Twitch clips like I do for you.
Yeah.
Like, haha, you make a pterodactyl noise here. Give me that.
I can't wait to hear what that sounds like when it's fully finished.
I'm probably gonna eat it out to cut off and be like, here, do some shit with this.
Well, yeah, I have to do your master again, right?
Mm-hmm. I made a song out of Ekka's weird pterodactyl screech. I haven't showed it to you yet. It'll be interesting.
Oh, okay.
Was it when I was playing Splitgate? Was that when it happened?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You got murked.
Okay. Yep. I remember.
I do
Yep.
remember this as well.
I've also got Gavin saying some pretty fucking weird shit.
Not surprising.
Splitgate brings out a different side of me.
Was I talking about the Anunnaki again? Because that's been
Same as Rocket League for me. No, you was talking about somebody. I can't remember. I'll go find the fucking clip, though. No worries. I got plenty of CPU for that shit.
That game brings out the level of toxicity in me.
Same.
certain level. Yeah.
I don't know. I shat on motherfuckers last time we actually got to play together. I fucking like 4-tapped the whole fucking team, and it was.
Remember that. That was, oh my god. I still remember that. I was a distance away watching the whole thing go down.
As I was panicking the entire time.
And I'm just like, how did he do that? How is he still alive?
Not in control.
My ass would have been dead.
He says as he goes like on an 8-10 man kill streak in that fucking game.
Hey man, just give me a sniper and a shotgun and I'm solid for the whole match.
I like that little lever action carbine they got, dude. That fucking hip fire accurate like a goddamn wingman.
That and the battle rifle's pretty accurate from the hip.
I didn't try to shoot in that one from the hip much.
Mia says Apex squad up later.
I need to though.
Possibly.
I need to fuck.
Possibly.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah, motherfucker, yeah.
Do you game?
What?
Do you game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But not those games you just mentioned. Actually, I could check them out though. I usually play stuff like Elder Scrolls Online and League of Legends, and for shooters I've been playing Battlefield and stuff like that. But not the recent games. They are not that good.
Battlefield 3.
Nice.
Yeah, Battlefield 3 and 4 was my jam.
That Rex, that revolver pistol, dude, that was the shittiest fucking iron sights that was ever available on a gun in any video game made for fucking Super Nintendo to Genesis to now. But damn, that thing wasn't fucking powerful.
The revolver in Battlefield 3?
You're talking about the Magnum?
Yeah,
4-4?
the Rex.
Yeah.
No, the Magnum 4.4, the sights were good. The Rex, the snub nose revolver, that motherfucker would 2-tap motherfuckers, but the sight was quite literally a refrigerator on its side.
Refrigerator on its
Yeah, actually.
You're not
But
wrong.
I loved the Magnum 4.4. That one was great.
Could have had a goddamn trailer house on the fucking top of that gun and it still would have worked better.
What were those called? Like those gold medals when you killed 100 people with a headshot? I got a few hundred of those on the Magnum 4.4 and Battlefield 3.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I haven't played Battlefield in a long time, but I stopped after the third one.
Yeah, the
4 was alright.
Yeah, it was alright, but it was like a recycled version of Battlefield 3.
Oh no, wait!
Yeah,
I played a little bit of 4.
Maps.
No, I played a little.
They
bit
had
of 4,
destructive maps on 4, didn't they? Because you could take out the Shanghai middle building, and then the whole thing would just go to shit.
Yeah, that's what just popped in my head. I have played 4 for a little bit.
Helicopters dropping down, like literally flying the helicopter.
Those helicopters, like the Little Bird. I was such a pro in the Little Bird. Like, you know,
that thing is so fast.
You know, those guys flying around the Little Bird in the small buildings and shooting people there. Yeah. I was one of those guys.
Oh my god, no! I hated people like you.
I was one of those guys that grabbed the LMG with a bipod, waited for your ass to come swoop it around, and I was about to lay every goddamn round until I was dead into your motherfucking windshield.
Yeah,
I even did those like swap to place 3 and repair your helicopter while it's falling down, and then start it again.
What was it? I used to put my teammate. I would put C4 on a truck, have my teammate drive it, and if my teammate was driving it, it would not destroy the truck.
Yeah.
If you were in it, it would, because it considered friendly fire, but you couldn't do friendly fire on your teammates. And if your teammate was in the buggy, it would be considered a team buggy. So if there's a bunch of fucking enemy armor over there, you throw a fucking shitload of C4 on the front of that bitch and have him just haul ass right up next to that, ram him, and then just boop, and just watch everything go to hell.
That's hectic.
Oh my god. It was
C4
beautiful.
buggies were fun, yeah.
Speaking of video games, though, that's something that I also want to touch up on with you, Witch Doctor, because you work in video games. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what-
as a lead musical director.
For so if you don't mind just extrapolating and kind of explaining what you do and for whom and all that good stuff.
Essentially, Cortex Games is a small time video game company. They're not like as big as Ubisoft or Microsoft, but they're some of the indie games that I've seen people play on stream and on Twitch. I think one in particular being Personoids. It's built by a small team of possibly like 15 or fewer. Think of Cortex like that. And I run a production team, which essentially my job is to, whenever they get an area, because a music director and a sound director, two different. Sound director has to do the door opening, the creature growls, all this shit, everything. Fuck that. I do music. So I do atmospheric ambient music, cut scenes, credits, all the music's for that. And essentially what they do is they build, and before they really start putting all the fine touches on it, they'll walk me through the area. It'll be dead silent. And I'll have to extrapolate this area into sound.
I see.
So it's definitely not what I expected it to be, but also like it's ridiculously easy in the fact that it's small variances in it's I guess kind of like doing an original soundtrack. You have an all-encompassing thing, but you also have small arcs in that encompassing theme, and you have to carry things over from the beginning all the way to the end. Just in some of these games, the decision at the beginning can vary the outcome of the end.
Right.
It's just like arranging a one track. You have to bring in small parts of this part in here, as well as bring in some of these parts over here to bring in essentially make things familiar without bringing too much in. And that's essentially what I have to do throughout the entirety of the game,
I see.
which is weird.
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
don't think it's weird.
It's still awesome though.
Yeah,
It is fun. I'll say that. It is damn
just a
sure
very
fun.
different way to think about it, you know.
Indeed.
Yeah, creation is a career. Creation is a career is definitely something that's like I knew it would be annoying to a point, but also it's just whatever you finish an entire week's work in one day, and then for the next 5 weeks, you're 7 weeks behind now. That is some of the most nerve-wracking shit. I've never felt mental exhaustion like that before. I've never understood mental exhaustion. I knew physical labor. This is my first like really mentally taxing job that I've gotten, and fuck was I not prepared.
I can imagine.
Hell, half the networking I do is asking people, how the fuck do you have a social life and do this? They're like, social life? Haha, about that.
Yeah. I see you, Brownie. Redeeming the 420 reward. Got you right here.
God damn it. Fuck you. The lighter hates me.
The lighter hates you. I know that struggle all too well too.
Haha.
However, that's awesome though that you've gotten to essentially work in music, but in the gaming industry.
Honestly, I'm lucky because I met the guy in a Twitch chat. A friend of mine was just doing a stream, and the guy happened to be in the chat. I told the guy, I was like, you know, I just released a new song. It's on my NCS list. If you want to use it and check it out, do check it out. guy was like, dude, that is really fucking good to be non-copyright music. I was like, you're being kind. I appreciate that. He was like, no, really. He's like, here, can I message you on Discord? And 2 days later, my interview was, I wrote the ambience for an enemy, what I would think an enemy sounded like.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it in front of him in 27 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, dude, what in the fuck did you basically was like, what the fuck did you just do? I'm just like, well, I can explain it to you, but really what I'm gonna do is if you do want to accept me, I can turn this into a basic template, which allows anybody to use it and to access it even after I leave this position. So essentially I went in there, in my mind, that was already my job. There was no other option for me.
Wow.
I was either walking out of there with a job or they're walking the company. And well, it just happened to turn out that he was nice enough to, give me a shot. So here we are now, and I just sent in a portfolio in PRK to Ubisoft.
To Ubisoft.
Nice.
Like Tom Clancy's Splinter still motherfucking Ubisoft, dude. Holy shit.
That's huge, dude.
It's scary because that's real corporate. That's going from a production team of like 3, 4, 5 guys to possibly upwards to like 15, 20, 50.
Jesus. That's a huge move though, dude. Fucking congrats for going for that.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying, man. If I don't aim high enough, then how can I inspire anyone to even reach for the lowest branch?
I like that.
True.
I like that a lot.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
No love is too soleil.
Boom. What does that mean, by the way? I've heard you say that a couple times.
What? Oh, Nil Novi Su Soleil? There's nothing new under the sun. It's Latin.
Ah.
And it's essentially just a wording of, even though, like, I work in creation, like, I believe music or creation is a force of the universe, and we as artists merely extrapolate that force into art and motion as musicians or music. Artists or painters capture time and they recreate it almost.
I see.
And it's just my way of looking at it, but there's nothing that has been created that hasn't already been done. Just like there's how many chord progressions are available, because there's no way there's infinite. There can't be.
Yeah, in the end, art is always just rearranging stuff you already experienced.
Exactly. Which is why it's so fucking redundant to be a music director. How the fuck am I supposed to put a system on something that's anogamous? That's like trying to look at water in an ice tray and being like, all right, don't fall out.
Right?
Shit's not gonna work, man.
I love that way of explaining that. That was genius.
Be water punches the ocean. Oh, I get it. It don't give a fuck.
I get it now. Right.
That's what happened too. Bruce Lee literally didn't understand that phrase until he punched the ocean on his way over to America. And he's like, man, they didn't do a fucking thing. But it still is, and it's still the same as it was. No matter how many times I punch it, it's still gonna fucking continue to be water.
Yep.
And it's still, like, even still, I don't fully grasp the concept of it yet. But one of these days, maybe, if I fuck up enough.
I mean, I attempted to learn it when I did martial arts, and I still don't understand it to this day.
Man, some of these, it's like there's locks on little chain links along your entire life.
Check.
And yeah, good point. But yeah, there's certain links.
Thank you, Mia. Thank you.
They get unlocked as you go along. And they're only unlocked with a certain amount of experience. And you never can actually understand or guess when you're going to get that amount of experience. It's like having a video game character not ever knowing when you're going to level, not having a meter or a bar. You're just doing and experiencing and doing these things to experience them. And you just happen to level up. And like, oh, look, hey, look at that. Cool. Now I can get better at this.
I feel like that should be like the next like step for our like RPG games.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, what if I didn't have to worry about my level in Borderlands and I could just play Borderlands?
Like, I mean, you kind of can take that approach with Borderlands, though. That's the cool thing about what Borderlands is.
Yeah.
But like,
isn't that what Paladins kind of did though with Cauterized? It just progressively gets stronger throughout the match, and everybody hates it.
Yeah, I was thinking, what if you applied that concept to like a classic RPG like Fable?
Did you just call Fable
or
a classic
Dungeons and Dragons?
RPG?
Hey man, it's old enough to be considered a classic now.
No
Okay?
way.
That means
You're
I'm a
not
fucking
talking about-
classic.
Yeah, right. Like
I'm triggered.
We're
Let's not-
antiques, is what we are, Witch Doctor.
I'm a collector's item now.
you could have said Chrono Trigger, and I would have been on board with it.
Secrets of Mana?
Secrets of Mana. There you go.
I love that fucking whip
That was a
chick,
good one.
dude. Oh my god. Love that game. I think we actually did a remix of that shit. I'm not sure.
Did you really?
Possibly. I don't know. We did a lot of stupid shit back in the day.
Oh yeah, Halo. Mentioned Halo.
Halo, man, I used to play the fuck out of some SWAT, dude. That pistol was OP as fuck.
I loved Halo.
I played so much Halo, I can't even comprehend.
Really? Is that why you're not playing Apex? Because you know you'll just get sucked into it, or maybe.
Yeah, that's why I don't play Apex.
I mean, that's a fair point.
Halo.
That's a fair point, because I was one of those like kids that competitively played Halo. And
I did competitive Call of Duty and Soul Calibur.
Yeah. Then when I played Apex, I'm just like, oh, hello. Now we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, the second match we played together, we ended up decimating most of the lobby, and that poor fucking Fuse at the end, he just got. Bro, I literally climbed up while y'all was shooting at this fucker. Literally climbed up the box right next to this man and filled his fucking ass up with a goddamn RE45. Fucking mercy, dude.
The problem is, whenever I play a shooter, I always search for a weapon that kind of resembles that main carabine weapon type thing from Halo, like that semi-auto shooting
30-30, G7.
almost sniper thing. Yeah, that one.
Give me a fucking G7, I will tear down fucking teams.
That's a classic. And I throw that word around a lot because Apex has progressed so much in such little time. It's
Fucking
crazy.
Sentinel Shield break is gone. I miss that.
Oh, they took that
There's
off?
something special.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Season 4 or 5, it was season 6. I think they changed it to just do amp damage, so it does like 88 damage on a body shot, 178 on a headshot, which is actually it becomes a baby Kraber. I'm not gonna lie. You put a dead shot on them, quick draw tempo.
Mm-hmm.
That thing with 7 rounds, you got 1 round that you just throw at the enemy. And then the other 6 rounds, you hope to God you stay on target because you can start laying down some fucking fire.
Yeah, you really can.
I got a YouTube shot where I actually get 2 headshots with 1 bullet to kill 2 people immediately. And it was the first time I met Lion at Heart, actually. One of my really good buddies on Twitch. Like, man, dude's a Marine, by the way.
That's awesome. Props to the homie.
I did his channel intro. It's fucking happy hardcore.
I love Happy Hardcore so much.
Marine listens to happy hardcore. So
that
fucking
doesn't
dumb,
surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, no. Because you got to think, what do most Marines do on their off time? They go to the
Work
gym.
out.
What are they listening to at the gym? Something to keep them going. What is the one thing that they do all the time? They hit the bench press.
Yeah, Happy Hardcore is such a I feel like it's such a eclectic thing but like I was super into hard house when it was like when happy hardcore was kind of decreasing and you saw like more hard house coming, like especially with
Mm-hmm.
those Clubland CDs that were coming out.
Oh,
Like
I remember those.
I have all of those in my library. I got a torrent file for them at one point.
Oh damn!
And
You probably
when I'm
like hard bass too, right?
what's that?
You don't know Russian hard bass? Oh damn!
Oh yeah, no, I like Russian hard bass. Yes, DJ Ravine introduced me to that on like YouTube years ago. I was like, "What is this?"
Bean.
Hey, do you remember his tutorials back in the day? He did like this
I
is
barely remember.
dubstep or
Yes.
like those are his like mixtapes.
Yep.
But he's an Australian dude. But yeah, Russian hard bass.
Melbourne bounce. Melbourne
Yeah,
bounce was always your shit for me.
yeah.
I love me some Melbourne bounce, but it's now that I listen to it nowadays, and I'm just like, God damn, dude, that shit is like hollow. Like there's no body to it.
I have more of a liking for like raw style.
Raw style.
Raw style.
It's more like it's
The
like
origins of hardstyle, basically.
mm-hmm. It's basically like a really hard, heavy bass version of hardstyle. Like the kick is there, but
like,
the kick is there, but it's like really like it's like if bro step or like main stage like mainstream dubstep and hardstyle like mixed together, in a sense.
As as far as I remember, raw style is like the original hardstyle version, and then the basses and kicks got like digital and stuff, and then this new bass style hardstyle got introduced with all those typical hardstyle kicks we knew today.
Right, correct.
Yeah, I've always been a sucker for like female vocals, especially singing about upbeat things. So like once I found like Clubland and In Trance and like all the like sort of hard house to happy hardcore artists like do you guys know of the Italo brothers?
Oh yeah,
I do.
Stamp on the Ground was a banger.
Yes, it was.
DJ Shadow, Kutski.
DJ Shadow, yes.
I think I have a couple of DJ Shadow tracks in my library from those Clubland CDs. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, he was featured on the CDs quite often.
Man, but Kutski back in the day, dude, would fucking fuck some vinyl up. Oh my good fucking god.
Kutski was a badass.
That's when I learned the difference between DJing and turntablism.
Yeah.
Where I learned the value of a Technic 1200 and a diamond tip needle.
Uh-huh.
Well, let me rephrase that: a stable Technic 1200.
DJing isn't what it used to be anymore either. Like,
nah, man.
If you go to Tomorrowland main stage, you will always see that they just hit play once and everything else is staged up. Like all the sets are pre-built because the managers think they can't afford it for them to make mistakes. Because the actual like marketing process of covering up and talking about that the set is pre-made is far more cheaper and better than marketing every mistake a DJ might make on live stages.
It's a safer bet, especially with that amount of money on the line. It's a lot.
Yeah. Also,
I wouldn't trust a human to fuck
syncing
it
with
up.
pyro and visuals is better if you do pre-recorded set because then you can timestamp everything and make sure everything's the
It
same
really
way.
depends. Once in a Noisia Radio, they talked about like one of their live sets, and they actually used the MIDI export from their tracks to trigger the light systems.
Because you can actually export it as a MIDI file and import into. I know it was Chavez show. I could export MIDI into that and use that as essentially a MIDI trigger to trigger certain parameters on the DMX lights.
Yeah, Team X is fully MIDI compatible, so you can plug in a MIDI cable and use any signal you want to trigger those lights.
Yep.
That's awesome. One of the guys that I worked with recently to do visuals for my my recent mix that I put out, he creates all his stuff in Blender and then triggers and basically plays them out using what was it, an Akai APC 40.
No shit.
Yeah. And I'm just like, wait, is that an Akai? He goes, yeah, I got the APC 40 mapped out to everything here in Blender, and I'm literally just live mixing visuals for people's mixes.
Man, if I could have hooked that dude up with Decadence.
He probably has it, honestly.
Probably, yeah. I use that to map my launch pad.
I mean, this guy learned from Murmc's VJ. And Murmc is like a pretty big, like, experimental bass, freeform bass artist.
Yeah, I've heard that name before, actually. Speaking of, shout out SubJunkies, because Scooby came into my motherfucking stream last night, was like, hey man, have you ever... Bruh. Because he said, I found SubJunkies through Murmc Records listening to Echo stuff. I was like, no shit.
That's crazy.
He's like, yeah. Because he was asking me, he's like, how do I find new music? I just go find DJs I like. Showed him AMC. Best fucking cabs in the game. That dude is not stop bouncing for the entire time he is on decks, dude. I swear.
Bro.
And he was like, I was listening, and he's like, okay, so I basically do this. I was listening to Ekka's stuff. I checked like a couple of artists that were like him. He's like, and I found SubJunkies. He's like, I found this stuff that I like.
That's cool.
Like, wow, dude. I'm like, yeah, SubJunkies is basically just like us. Like, we just sit in the Discord and dick around and write music, man. And why the fuck ain't you happy like that about my stuff, man? I'm like, damn, you go here all fucking schmoozy with fucking SubJunkies and like schmooze with me, motherfucker. But I give Scoob so much shit because I threw him in with the Sharks on Rocket League. Like, straight up, first match he ever played with me was against Champs.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I can only
imagine
imagine
the chaos. And then I let him surf on him. Oh, I let him just decimate that poor boy. It was beautiful.
That was cool meeting Scoob. That's super awesome, though, that he found, like... It's weird hearing that, though, that someone found, like, SubJunkies and, like, these other names that I listen to and spend a lot through listening to my bullshit.
I know.
Cool.
That means you're on the good side of the algorithm.
After working so hard of actually forcing my way into the algorithm.
Right. And consistency, that's really all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency and quality. Like, if you got consistency, you will get a lot of clicks, but you won't gain enough followers. You need the quality too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really hard to pull off, like, to make quality content in a consistent time frame. That's really hard to pull off.
It really is.
Well, like anyone who's over a certain level has a team that, like, helps them out with that sort of stuff.
Which is why SubJunkies works. It's because the three of us can essentially, if we know we're stuck on something, we can always hit up one of the other guys and be like, "Decide to see what." And it's like a think tank.
Yeah, more hands makes less work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. But if the more people that help you pave your, the more that you don't get to decide which direction that path ends up. You don't lay every brick. You don't get to decide which way it's going to end up going. Because 1 inch here is a mile there.
Interesting way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that.
No, I totally get it. But again, like Gavin said, interesting way of putting it. But it makes sense.
Yeah,
though.
Depending on if you trust your people. That's really what it is, in my opinion, maybe.
And I feel like that's half of the battle is finding the right people to trust to make the team.
Yeah.
And then
there's a lot of...
And then the other half is making sure I mean, it kind of ties into the trust, but it also is just making sure the team's actually doing what they need to do.
Oh yeah.
Removing their sub bass.
Talk about this whole time. How dare you remove his sub bass?
As long as you leave my fucking snare alone, we're cool.
The audacity. Touch anything else, just don't touch those drums.
To be fair, if it really did need to be replaced, I'd trust him. Maybe.
Don't let me start about the sub basses. I can talk hours about that.
Yes, please don't. Because I'll have to sit here and listen to it. Because if I don't, I'm gonna hear about it again.
It's so complex to get it done right. Like you have to account to so many things until the sub bass will sound good. I think, in my opinion, at least.
No, I would not listen to you, Cut. That would be your opinion. Your opinion is like 90% of our music anyway.
I love the dynamic that y'all got here. Like the dynamic y'all got's like a good dynamic.
Yeah,
we try, man. Gotta have fun. We were all born and bred in the fires of a fucking Xbox chat.
It's all about having fun, I guess. Fun making music.
Yeah, and just finding the right people that are on the same wavelength. At least in your guys' case.
Yeah, because if he's screaming, "What the fuck is that?" That could mean one of two things.
I like it,
either,
or I hate it,
or you done fucked up. Yeah, like what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, no, I've been getting that a lot lately when I've been producing with the homies alongside in the Discord chat. I get that a lot. I'm like, what? And they're like, do it again. Oh, okay, I did good. It's always that underlying fear. It's like, wait, good? Oh, bad? No, good? Okay. I'm okay. I'm doing okay. Well, before we wrap things up here with everybody here, just want to first off thank both of you gentlemen, CutOff and WitchDoctor, for taking the time to hang out with us and chat it up and talk about not only about yourselves individually, but about SubJunkies and everything.
It's always a pleasure, brother.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Oh, glad. The pleasure's all ours. But I just wanted to ask you guys though, before we end things off, what can we expect from not only SubJunkies but both of you guys individually?
Well, as I mentioned before, I got this one EP that's done and still waiting for the release date on P-Lab Recordings. Then I'm in talks with Phrase Recordings for another EP with some collabs from WitchDoctor 2. And we are working on a whole album for our first SubJunkies release.
Working title to fix.
Yeah, or SubJunkies Volume 1, I don't know. It's still...
Yeah, we really don't fucking know.
But at this point, we already have like around 10 tracks.
12. We have 12.
Yeah, but
not counting the one you just sent me today.
But all of that stuff will soon come out on all the platforms from Spotify to Beatport and Bandcamp and iTunes and Apple Music, whatever. You name it, Deezer. So looking forward to that.
First 100 customers get a custom insult directly from me to your cell phone. You just gotta send me your phone.
Looking forward to that too.
I'll definitely be customer number 1.
Oh, I hope so.
Kiss ass.
Hey, you know what? If y'all didn't actually make good music, I wouldn't be so sold. All right.
This is why I don't trust folks. See, I don't see it. Some of it I see is good. The other stuff, I'm just like, man, what the fuck are we doing?
But it's a good thing.
You're not, as an artist, you're never satisfied with your own product. So
very true. But as one artist to another, what you guys are doing is, I know for a fact, is groundbreaking, and it's definitely gonna pop off because it's definitely not not a type of sound, and B, a fusion of sounds that I've never heard before. So I think that you guys are literally onto something here with this.
See, I told you that shit was weird.
That would be really nice, and that's actually really flattering that you think that way. I hope so too. That we are onto something there.
I
Taking
think
it
you
off
guys
See what
are,
the future
and
holds up for us, right?
right, exactly. But no, I honestly feel like you guys are, and I feel like the more you guys start throwing yourselves out there more, and more teasers come at over time once everything gets more polished, I assume it's slowly going to start picking up. Because, like I said, me personally, as someone who listens to drum and bass consistently, aside from listening to dubstep and rhythm, I've never heard of anything sounding like what you guys got. So I definitely mean that. It's definitely going to pop off for sure.
Yeah,
sure.
fuck with me, Prolix. I mean, like collab with me, please.
Collab, please, collab.
Oh yeah, please collab.
We didn't mean
For
it. We're
real.
sorry. We're nice. We love you. Collab.
I'm hoping that the first big person that we maybe collab with. I hope. Shit, man. Because if not, I may not be ever meeting them. I'll just send some stems.
Just send me stems.
I'm not the best people person in the world. Like CutOff's our marketing dude.
I see.
Laser codes.
Got everything distributed out for the trio. I love it.
I do drums.
Great.
I do drums. At that point, you could just say, "I don't know, man. I'm just a drummer."
Right? How many times have you heard that?
I just want to be.
I've personally said that one too many times.
I will never say that. I believe a really guitarist at heart. Will stay that way.
I feel that guitarists unite.
Just happy to be here.
I'm just happy to be here.
You make wubs too. I've heard your wubs. You make good wubs.
I try.
Just
I
fucking
try.
wub at me.
Oh, I'll love at you all day long, motherfucker.
Oh, hell.
We're skanking Molotovs in this bitch.
Skanking Molotovs everywhere. All across the pond. Over there in the
Molotov outside.
Everywhere, just all over the place. But all right, Twitch fam and our esteemed internet audience. That's going to be it for us today for the Murmc Sound Podcast. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in and hanging out with us. Again, big shout out to two of the SubJunkies, Dr. WitchDoctor and CutOff. Thank you again, guys, for taking the time to be on here with us. Really appreciate you guys hanging out here with us. It's been fun.
Yeah, this was great.
Till you need your next fix.
And
SubJunkies out.
Yep, until we need the next fix, absolutely. So, like CutOff said, be on the lookout for those two massive EPs coming out. I'm sure he's going to be sharing all the pre-save links and all the promo stuff with us. So, be on the lookout for that. Definitely be on the lookout for more music from not only from SubJunkies but from CutOff, WitchDoctor, Gavin, and myself. We got loads of stuff coming y'all's way.
Lots of tunes.
Lots of tunes. As always, guys, much love. Thank you again, and we'll see you guys on the next time. Peace out.
Peace.
See ya.
Peace.